Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dude, I Love or Hate My Ride. And this is a very special episode because today we're going to be giving away some money to a very worthy cause here in Colorado, the Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery. I had to look, sorry.
That's okay.
And this is Noah, who is kind enough to bring in his 2016 Toyota 4Runner, and Noah is part of the organization that we're helping to support. But before we get to the part where we're actually handing over money, let's do a walk around of your truck because it's way cool, Noah. So tell me, what year is this truck?
It's a 2016
Okay, and where'd you get it?
Stevenson Toyota.
All right, and how was the buying experience?
It was good. I
Yeah?
had no problems whatsoever.
Did you look around at different dealerships, or did you just go there and see this guy and fall in love with him?
I just went there and saw this guy and fell in love. It was between this one and a silver one, and I went white.
Okay, and how much was this?
I think it was 42,
It's not bad.
41, 42, somewhere around
Did you get any kind of discount, or did you have to pay
A little
sticker?
bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't much.
Yeah,
They
Toyota
don't
doesn't
discount
They don't
these things
discount
a whole bunch,
4Runners very
so,
much,
yeah.
As is the way with a lot of Toyotas.
Yep.
And when you bought it, did you know you were going to modify it and make it a little bit more, well, let's call it off-road rugged?
I don't leave anything alone, so yeah.
Okay, all right. And did you trade anything in on it?
I traded a Silverado.
Okay, and so you went from kind of a traditional truck to more kind of a 4x4 crossover slash, well, it's really a SUV. All right, so let's check it out and see what you've got. So let's start at the beginning. So obviously in the front here, you've got a unique bumper with a wing. So tell me about that and the lights.
This is actually a worn bumper.
Okay.
And I had looked at slimline bumpers like this before because I didn't want a full bumper because I like the front end of the vehicle.
You like the look of it. Yeah, it's kind
I
of
do.
rugged. It's got
Yeah.
kind of these angry bird eyes.
Yeah, and I liked it, and I didn't want to destroy that with a bumper, a full bumper. So I looked for something like this, and then when Warren came out with this, I thought, why not Warren? And there was not really a weight like there was with other manufacturers, so I went Warren.
And go ahead.
I have a Warren 10S winch.
And did you have to, is this specifically for the 4Runner, or did you have to cut this?
Oh, I had to cut this, but
Okay.
it is built for the 4Runner. So, and the truck was relatively new then, so that was a little scary, taking this front end off and hacking it.
Yeah. And how about these auxiliary lights? Those are unique too.
These are BD or BD Baja Designs.
Yep.
A kit that's specifically made for the 4Runner. They make them for Tacomas as well.
So were there fog lights here, or did you cut that out and put them in?
They were just fog lights.
They were just fog lights, yeah. So these are, I take it a little bit brighter. Now, of course, let's go over to the side, and you've got 33s on here. They look like 35s, but they're 33s. The issue with Toyotas, of course, is they don't really like to fit bigger tires. So did you have to do some cutting to get those to work?
I did have to do some cutting. I had a body shop mount for the rear. There's a body mount right in the rear,
Yep.
which is the big sticking point, because it's steel, obviously, because
Yep.
it's a body mount. So that has to get cut and a piece welded in.
Yeah.
And the front was all just, I took a saw and just went crazy and hacked it until it stopped rubbing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the advantages is if you gotten a full-size metal bumper, right, you would have gotten rid of this front face.
Correct, and then I
you-
wouldn't have the concern.
But then you wouldn't have the look. What kind of a lift, and who did it for you?
This is an OME,
Yeah.
nitrocharger shocks and OME springs.
Yeah.
The heaviest springs at the front, heaviest springs at the rear. I knew I was going to add weight to it.
Yep.
And Slee Automotive installed the lift.
Okay, and how high of a lift is it?
It's a 3-inch.
3-inch. Yeah, it's not bad. The stance looks really good. Have you been happy with it? Has it worked out for you?
Yeah, it's a little stiffer than I was hoping, but it's an inexpensive lift, so I kind of expected that. I'd like it a little bit softer, and I'll upgrade eventually.
Okay,
Because
fair.
I don't leave anything alone.
Yeah, fair enough. And then you're running some Falcon Wild Peaks. Do you like those tires?
They're fantastic.
Okay. What do you like about them? Are they quiet on the road and grippy in the dirt?
The thing about off-road tires is when you get new ones, they're always quiet for a while, and then they start to get noisy as time goes on. So I went from KO2s to this.
Yep.
So it seemed really quiet, and they are still quiet, but they're relatively new. But they grip really well, do great in the snow and ice. I love these. I'll never switch.
Cool. And let's talk about these little auxiliary lights. Those are pretty cool. I like those. Those are funky.
Baja Designs. All
Yeah.
the lights on here are Baja Designs. And this just helps me see a little bit wider section of the trail.
Yeah. And I see you've got some rock sliders.
These are RCI sliders.
Yep.
And there's RCI skid plates, aluminum skid plates underneath with a steel skid plate for the gas tank.
Wow, you don't leave stuff alone, do you?
I don't leave things.
All right. And what kind of rack you got on it looks like, I don't know, Baja rack maybe?
This is a Gobi.
That's a Gobi rack, okay. And then How about the awning?
This is a Rhino Rack Batwing,
Yeah.
which was installed this morning before.
Congratulations.
It hasn't even been out yet.
And this is one that comes all the way out, or just
It's a 270.
so it goes like it kind of folds out this way and
Goes all the way around the
all
back.
the way around. How much are these? These are getting really expensive. I think.
I think they retail for $750-ish.
Yeah, that's not bad. So if I were to ask you, how much money do you think you have in parts and accessories in your 4Runner? I know your wife's listening. Do you have a wife? I shouldn't ask.
Yes, and
So just tell me. Don't tell her.
that's okay. We just went through this because she wanted to know, and I think I have 16,000 in extras on top of the vehicle purchase.
Yeah, I mean that's what ends up happening when you want to go all out. Let's look at the interior because you've got some fun stuff on the inside here, and a lot of this, of course, has to do with your recovery work. So tell me what all that electronic stuff is in there.
So that's a Baja or
Why don't you hop in from the other side and kind of show me? You can
Okay.
just go from the other side, and I'll be on this side. Because there's something up there. There's of course a radio here. Yeah, so there's a lot of actually 2 radios, I think, right?
This is a ham radio,
Okay.
and this is a DeLorme, and this is just for emergency communications, and I can text anywhere.
Yeah.
And so my wife can track me and know where the expensive 4Runner
So
is.
does that work in the mountains?
It works everywhere. I've never
Really?
not had a signal.
And so how does that work? I mean, it's got to be. It's not satellite based.
It's satellite.
Oh, it's satellite based. Okay, so you're going up to a satellite.
Correct.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So you've got your ham radio on the left. You've got your satellite radio on the right. What's in the middle?
This is a tablet, and I can do a lot of things with this tablet. I can control my lights with this tablet. So
Oh, I
right
see.
now, this
Yep.
is I have a S-Pod,
Yep.
and I can control all my lights with these buttons.
Oh, cool. Look at that. Yeah. Turn them on, would you?
I can turn them all on,
Yeah. Man, look
and
forward.
I can turn that
click
flashing
forward.
on and off.
Yeah. don't give somebody an epileptic fit out there. So that's really cool.
And I do my mapping on here. I have Gaia Maps on here, and so I can map. I download offline maps, and so I can always see where I am.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 3 mapping tools on here.
And what's this?
This is another controller for the S-Pod, so I don't always have the tablet in here.
Okay.
When I don't have the tablet in here, I can control all my lights through this.
Okay.
And it was just another excuse to have another screen in here.
Yeah, why not? If it's a mobile recovery rig, why not? All right,
is.
come on out. Let's talk about the rest of this. Let's go around. Let's see what else we got here. So let's look around the back. Anything in the back? Did you do anything unique here? Oh, you got a little ladder to get up on the roof rack, I see.
Which I haven't used. I have big feet, so I just end up kicking the tailgate.
Yeah.
But it does give me a mount for this.
Yeah, which is
so
nice.
I try to pick up trash whenever I'm on a trail,
Yeah,
and
that's really nice.
keeps it out of the
Out of the
back.
public, yeah. And did you do any kind of storage or kind of any bins inside? I should ask.
So
Of course you did.
of course I did.
Of course you did.
And so I built this.
yeah. That's nice.
This is the second version of this. Initially, I just had 2 drawers across. So
That's really smooth opening.
smooth opening.
I've seen some home built ones that don't quite work as well.
I spent the money on the hinges,
Yeah.
so you can get inexpensive hinges, and then you get what you pay for. These are 500-pound hinges. So technically, I could sit on here. I don't, because I don't trust my building
You
skills.
never know, yeah.
And this we kind of use as a cutting board. This is all my recovery stuff.
So let's show them what you keep in there. So you obviously have gloves. You've
My
got
winch
some,
controller,
some
straps.
Straps, yeah. You got some. Looks like
All my tools are in here.
some D-rings.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. What's in the other one? You got a fire extinguisher on top there, which is always a handy
Always
thing.
carry a fire extinguisher. And this is just some extra clothes.
Oh wow! So if you're out there and it gets cold, which it does a lot in the winter, and of
Correct.
course if it gets cold, what are you burning with this?
I can't start a fire without a torch. So
Okay.
I am not skilled in that way. So I keep spare food in here,
Yeah,
just in case. You never know.
yeah.
And really, that's it. Tire repair kit. This is my kind of catch-all.
So let's go around the front again and finish up this quick conversation. Come around the front. I like your stickers. You kind of sticker bombed your rear window. That's pretty cool. So you're part of the Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery,
Yes.
which is who we're going to be working with now. So how many rescue and recoveries have you been on?
I'd have to say between 10 and 15. I don't keep count. I don't go on a lot of recoveries.
Yes.
I tend to just be a nag to Matt, our president.
Yeah, who's coming up next, by the way. So coming up very soon, we're going to be not only handing over a check to Matt, but we're also going to be talking to Matt and checking out his rig. Have you gotten stuck with this anywhere? And have you rescued anybody with this?
I have rescued people with this,
Yep.
and I've gotten myself stuck, but I have traction boards on the top of my roof rack, and I was able to get myself out.
Yeah, I noticed. Max Trax?
Those are knockoffs.
Those are the knockoffs, yeah. The Max Trax are expensive, like $250.
They are.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to share your rig with me. And next, we're going to go right to Matt, and he's going to show us his rig because for all you Jeep fans, it's a Jeep. Hi, Matt. You're the president of Colorado 4x4 Rescue and Recovery. Just let us know what you do. What is it you do here in Colorado in a quick summary so people know?
Sure, yeah, quick summary. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We specialize in vehicle and person recoveries on Forest Service roads and Forest Service trails throughout the state. We do it all free of charge. Never charge a thing for any of our services.
Yeah, so if you guys are out here in Colorado, especially near the Front Range, which is Denver, Boulder area, and you get stuck out there and you call for rescue, chances are the local authorities will call you guys.
Yep, yeah, and depending on, so we're a non-medical team.
Yeah.
So if they're just stuck, a lot of times they'll just kick us right over to us and we'll be able to help you out.
And if you guys aren't aware, we had a series on TFL Car called Cheap Jeep. And in that series, we took a TJ and customized it and then sold it on Bring a Trailer. And we promised to give half the money to these guys as a thank you for everything that you do. So here's a check for $5,625, which is half of what we got for the Jeep. Awesome. So thank you for everything you do. I really appreciate it. I'm really grateful for every rescue that you guys do because it keeps the trails open and it keeps us being able to go out there and, run these things.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point of why we do it, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And so what's going to happen with the money? What are you guys going to do?
So a lot of this is going to get funneled into communications for our members. We all carry ham radios that we use to communicate between each other, and they're not typically cheap to be able to purchase those. So what's going to help us do is to buy up a good cache so we're able to assign out to our active members and make sure that they always have good communications and add to that safety for them.
So you're not buying those like Walmart $30?
No, we're
everybody's on your channel.
We're plus 200 each, so yeah, this will go a long way though. We appreciate it.
All right, good. Well, let's talk about your rig. I see you have a Wrangler.
Yep.
This looks like a well-used Wrangler. So
it is.
What year is it? And tell me about where you got it, and let's talk about what you've done to it.
Yeah, so it's a 97 TJ.
Yep.
It's a Sport or Sahara, so it didn't come with lockers or anything. I picked it up wholesale, used at a dealership I worked at up at Christopher's Dodge.
Okay.
So it had some quirks to it, and I worked it out slowly. It was already halfway built, but very cheaply. It had Rubicon Express lift on it. Slowly been upgrading some parts as we go, more as things wear out. So
I like to say the TJ is kind of the golden retriever of the Jeep world. It just does pretty much everything you ask of it, and it does it with a smile and a waggle of the tail. Yep. So tell me what you've done to it. Obviously, let's start with, once again, the front bumper. You've got a little bit of a bumper and a winch, Warren.
Yep. Yeah, it's a Warren 9. So yeah, and a lot of this, it came on it, which was great for me because moving into what I do, it was great to be able to find something that filled a lot of the needs that I had without having to do a lot. So most of what I've been doing has been upkeep and then replacing things as they start to wear. But yeah, bumper up front with the Warren winch mounted on it. I like the roller fair leads to go with the synthetic line. Just helps if we have any kind of a side pole. Obviously, a little bit of auxiliary lighting. I didn't go expensive like Noah did. And you'll find that's kind of a thing with me.
Yeah, these are kind of
so yeah, those are
basic.
amber strobes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then, of course, you've got your high lift jack. And how much of a lift do you have? Let's look around the side.
So it's about, I think it's right around 4 or 4.5.
Yeah, okay. What kind of a lift is it, do you know?
Again, it started out as a Rubicon Express lift with Ome and Emu shocks that were on there.
Okay.
I've slowly been replacing a lot of it and kind of moving it up to rock crawler suspension components, which I like them. They seem to hold up really well. I've had a lot of, the old lift was starting to get a little wear, right? So all that control arm movement, just been slowly kind of working on that.
I think this is an ARB snorkel, if I'm not mistaken, right? Safari.
Yep.
Did that come with it, or did you put that on?
It did. It came on it. Yep.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yep.
You got a lot of. So you weren't the one like cutting the whole.
I know. Yeah. And because it had already been, kind of roughed up around the edges, it's not as hard for me to go take it on a trail and scratch it up.
Now, the other thing that people may find is that this is Sahara, right?
Right.
So it's a special edition. So you've got kind of the cool forest green and brown seats. I love those seats. Those are really cool, and people look for those a lot.
Yep.
So how many miles on this bad boy?
I think it's right around 265.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's got some miles.
And have you ever gotten stuck in it? And if so,
oh yeah.
What happened and how'd you get out?
Yeah, the guys will give me a hard time about this because it typically does happen. You'll notice it needs some tires.
Yeah, I noticed.
So I'll chain it up when we go in the snow because I know that'll be a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tend to find the soft edges.
Ever rolled it?
No. Laid it on its side on Hell's Gate, but that's about it.
Okay. All right. Let's look inside. Let's see. Why don't you go around and kind of tell us what you got inside here? Same thing. Alex, why don't you poke your head in there and let's talk about what you got going on. So I see you've got a lot going on in there, actually.
Yep. So the CB almost never goes on anymore, but it's still in here.
Yeah.
All of our guys use ham radio, so that's what's here. These are all switches for light controls. Same here for light control. Use an iPad for all my navigation, and then as well as for forms and such. Let's see, it's about it, right?
Turn some lights on, man. Let's get some strobes going. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you got the side lights. Yeah, that's cool. I guess these must come in really handy when you're out there on the trail. You can turn them off.
Yeah, so we use the side-facing lights quite a bit, especially when we're out working on a trail. If it's off over the side, you need to have a good light on the side. So.
Yeah, for sure. And have you pulled anybody out with this bad boy?
Oh yeah, more than I could count.
Yeah?
Yep. It's definitely a workhorse.
All right, come on around. Let's look at the back. Let's see what you got in the back.
So I spared you the need to watch me open the tailgate.
Oh, we won't open the tailgate. It seems like that would be quite an involved
it's a
process.
Pain. But I did bring a bunch of stuff inside so we can move into that afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, first aid kit from Outer Limit Supply.
Okay.
I love these guys, local.
Yeah.
He's a fire medic in Aurora. Owns a company, does great work.
Did you put this on? This is quite the rig bike here.
Yeah, I put this on. I picked up the bumper itself and the tire carrier, and then I mounted it onto those. I think those are Poison Spider corner guards.
All right, and what's the onboard air for?
Filling up the tires.
Okay, so no air lockers.
No.
I was just wondering about that. And obviously it's hard to get to the back, so what do you keep in the back of it?
So I put some of it inside so we can see it, but straps.
Let's walk over there. Yeah, let's walk over. Let's check it out. Because if you guys are looking for recovery gear, this might be a good. Is it in our offices? Is that where it's at?
What's that?
Where'd you put the stuff?
Yeah, so all this would be normally in the back.
Okay.
But I have everything from.
Let's put on your hood so we
Put
can
out the
see
front?
it. Yeah, put on the hood. Yeah. If you don't mind, I mean.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I'd hate to scratch this up, but it looks like somebody's gotten to it before me.
Sure have. So this is the basic kit that's in the back.
So if you guys are looking for some smart recovery gear, this would be a good way to start.
Yeah, and really just a good strap, good high quality strap. I like soft shackles a lot. These are the Safe Extract soft shackles. So these work similar to your bow shackles, but there's less weight in line, right? So I keep a couple of those in there. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not metal, so if this went flying, God forbid something happened, right? A lot less weight going flying.
Yeah, you have a piece of nylon flying versus a big chunk of metal.
There are a couple metal D-rings in there as well.
Okay.
Bow shackles in there. A wool blanket usually lives in the back. Just broke it out last night.
Yep.
A hypothermia kit in case you find somebody that needs it.
You can't just drop. You just broke it out last night. Were you out on rescue last night?
Yeah, we had one last night.
What happened?
Up by Bill Moore.
Yeah.
And they'd gotten stuck and they had the key in the on position.
Yeah.
But they were just charging their phone with it. They weren't running the engine. So a battery died, got dark, got cold.
Yeah.
Windows were down. They weren't prepared to be out in the cold. We got up there, they were freezing. So busted out the blankets, wrapped them up, got them in the back, and were able to warm them up.
That's the thing, right? Here in Colorado, even though we're in May, in the mountains, in the middle of May, it's still freezing. And it's still snowing.
It was about 36 degrees up there.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind, guys. It gets pretty serious pretty quickly up there.
Yep.
How many rescues do you go on every year?
I don't know my number.
Yeah.
I know that typically we're running in about the 120 to 160 a year as far as how many missions we run.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. What's some of the hardest ones you've done?
The harder ones are going to be typically your rollovers.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are out, in far areas of the state.
Yeah.
And when you combine the two, they become even more hard. We did one up off of Iron Chest, which some people might remember. There was a Jeep that rolled. A lady actually died in that accident, which was unfortunate. And a dog was lost. They were able to find the dog, coincidentally, the day that we were out there helping to get the Jeep back to the trail. So it was just a really cool kind of like a closure.
Yeah. What would you say to people if they're heading out onto some of our more beautiful trails? Do they just how do people get stuck? Do they just get in over their heads too quickly? Is that how it happens?
Yeah, so it's in over your head too quickly and going alone are the two big things that
bring a buddy.
Problem. Yeah, because worst case scenario, if you got stuck with one vehicle, you can get in another one and you can go home.
Yeah.
and you don't have to call anybody for help.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching this episode of Dude, I Love or Hate My Ride. I didn't ask you, do you love or hate your ride?
I love it.
All right.
For now.
For now? Are you looking at a different one?
I don't know. Do you guys have that Gladiator still? Because I want to look at it.
Yeah, we have the Gladiator still, but we're still filming that series.
All
so,
right.
by the way, the new Jeep series is with, of course, our brand new, well, new to us, Jeep Comanche, and that's showing over at TFL Truck every Saturday. So if you want to see what we're doing for a Jeep, head on over there. We just blew our budget fixing the transmission, of course. Thank you very much, and thanks for all you guys do. Really appreciate it. And remember, check out TFLcar.com for more news, views, and of course, TFL Jeep reviews, which are now over at Truck. See you guys next time. Ciao.